Hello everybody and welcome to my very first mod review. I have been having a good long sort of hard think about other videos that I could be doing, and I thought why not do reviews on mods that for me personally I think are amazing. I know there's many people out there. You've got the likes of Mr. Sealy P, who does nigh on, well, it is every day, mod reviews, and he will take every mod that's been released and talk you through it and walk you through it. Obviously, he is limited to console. You also have Farmer Cop, who I think is brilliant at testing, and the spreadsheets he does are quite fantastic. I don't think I could bring myself to do them. But I thought, if I can just do more from a personal point of view, or what I like, I thought it'd be quite nice. So today, the mod I would like to talk about is the Realistic Livestock mod by Arrow. And I thought I could just first read you the features out of this mod, and then show you a few of the things that, in game. But this is definitely something that I'm going to start implementing in some of my new Let's Plays, because I think personally it's just brilliant. So anyways, male animals, they have higher values, they are required for reproduction, which that is a big thing just there. Because before you could just have a whole herd of cows, and they would reproduce, and you would get a calf whenever they were able to reproduce, come at age, you would always get a calf, which, yes, is very, very nice for a game, just to be able to have livestock and play an easy way, but for the realism way, not so much. So I think something just as simple as that is huge. There is also the visual animals. So the limit of the visual animals per husbandry has been increased from 25 in the vanilla game up to 200 at a maximum, which can be changed with a slider. This slider, if we press F1 and you look at the bottom, it says change visual animals amount, which is Shift T, which for me, I don't think it's 200 I can go to. I can go to 160. But if I go recommended, it says 40. And if we look in here, what can we see in front of us? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cows in front of us. So if I go Shift T and take this down to 1 and apply, you will now see that there is only 1. You can just see that there's only a lamb as well, just in the sheep pen, which is brilliant because I think it's very, very inclusive, that for people with higher end PCs, you can now start, if I just click recommend and apply again, you can now start making sure that visually your game is where you want to be. Because if this cow barn, if this say could fit 50 in, but you buy and put 50 cattle in here and it looks too much, you can then just always knock down that visual side of it all to make it a lot nicer. Well, one for you playing visually and whatnot, and especially if you're making YouTube videos or something, it'd be nicer for people to watch. We now move into individual animals. So all animals are now 100% individual, with the archaic cluster system has been scrapped, allowing for more variety in gameplay and animals. Every animal has its own unique identifier based on the UK cattle identification system, which for me is very welcoming. From being from the UK, it's something that I know, and see daily. So to now have that in game is brilliant. Every animal has a birthday and a country of origin. So the tags on their ears, as you look at an animal face on, the tag in the left ear or right for the animal is the birthday, and in the opposite ear is the ID number. Every animal can be named, which the amount of animals you can have in big game, that would be a mammoth task if you were to think of every name individually, but luckily you can randomise it and get the game to choose the name for you. Supported animals have ear tags on their left and right ears, detailing their country of origin, farm ID, animal ID, name and birthday, as well as potential identifier on their behind. So you'll see on their rear ends they will have 4 numbers. They will match up with the end 4 numbers in their ear tags. Enhanced pregnancy system. Animals of different species have varying amounts of potential offspring per each pregnancy. Examples: cows can have 0 to 3 calves, which I'll try to show you. If a bit later on in this video I will move on a month, and hopefully we will see that there'll be 1 or 2 cows and or sheep pregnant. Genetic system. The new genetic system is completely brand new. I've never seen it in FS, although I've only played since 22, but that's anyways. Every animal has several genetic modifiers completely unique to them. Current genetics are health, fertility, metabolism, productivity and meat quality. Genetic impacts several different areas of the animals, such as pregnancy and sale value. So I will quickly, whilst we're here, I'll just drop down from the air like so. And if we go to, I think my trailer could be in the way here. If we go to here and click on I, you'll now see all the genetic information that we have. So you can look at here now, so 0006 is a very, very good cow to have. Overall very good. Metabolism very high, which that means you'll eat more food than normal. So you will find that getting the better genetics, you will use more food in the long run. Health very high, which is brilliant. Fertility, so there's more likelihood of 1, getting pregnant, and I would imagine 2, having more calves. Quality, I'd imagine that's the meat quality they're talking about, very high, and milk production extremely high. So that for us is a very, very good cow. But if we look through, I'm sure I would have put 1 or 2 here. In our bulls we've got Ross. Overall bad, metabolism very low, so he won't eat very much, but that's probably why his health is also very low. Fertility very low, so he will struggle to impregnate some of our cows up here, but there's always a chance. And what we have to be very careful of now with the genetics is we don't want Ross to go and impregnate small Coco, because then it will start bringing her stats of her offspring down. So there is new family tree visible in the animal screen, which I don't think we will be able to get this just yet because we have bought all these in, so we haven't had any breeding. But what I'd like to do is apply monitor. So this shows me that water 120 litres a day, straw 95 litres, food 508, milk, obviously it's not pregnant, so milk nothing, and then manure and liquid manure. So that's very, very handy to have, to be able to see that. Also, if you're wanting to do names whilst we're here, so we go up to here, we can go change name. We've got Danny, so we can, if I press randoms it change, yes, so Zip, Crystal, Nifty, we'll go with that, and we'll click confirm. Also, there's only 2 negatives that I have found with this, is if we want to sell some animals, we have to go onto this screen. But going onto this screen, we now lose all the information about Nifty. All we have is can reproduce, is too young, obviously aged 10 months. So the way I have found to do this is if we go onto the information screen and go through the cows we want to keep, if we name these cows like we have done with Nifty, we know that Nifty doesn't want to be sold. But if we go the likes of Ross, which I don't know why it's called Ross, but if we were to leave Ross with its identification number, we can then know that if we went into here, we could look for the identification number and then sell that instead of going through the names. Maybe something just to bear in mind. We now move on to enhanced productions. Supported animals will have their productions based on various factors. Cows will only produce milk when lactating, and their yield will rise or fall based on their previous pregnancy. So very much like real life, you know, you don't just have cows having milk all year round, you know, there is a reason behind it all. And sheep will only produce wool in the warm months, which obviously is done this work. It'll be this time of year for us, taking the coats off the sheep. One, it's a massive health benefit for them. You know, like the state you see, if they're not sheared, you know, you feel sorry for them. And as many people know, most farmers, they lose money on doing it. So it is purely done for the animals' welfare. Death and ageing. Animal ageing is no longer limited to 5 years. Every animal type has an expected lifespan, and every animal has a chance to die of old age the older they get, but can live past their expected lifespan. I don't know what the expected lifespan is. Animals can die from health, random accidents, and bad pregnancies. So now we will move on to the animal dealer, and we will show you what's changed there. So we can now go through, these are all the animals that are for sale. So we can no longer just click Hereford cattle and then go 60 or 100 or what have you. We can no longer do that. We've got to do it individually. Almost like they've gone to an auction mart where you have small groups of, where you have a lot of farmers bringing small little pockets of animals in to be sold. We've taken all the Herefordshire cattle out, and we've taken a lot of the limousine ones out. So if we go through here, so this one, milk production very high, quality very high, overall very good, health high, weight 700 kilograms. So we can, if we click OK and then click buy, so do you want to purchase one animal? Yes. So we buy that, that has now been sent to our shed. So we should see, I should really, was it this one? Can't remember now. I should really have taken note of which one it was. So if we go back to here, we'll buy this really bad one. So that is 710005. Let's buy, send it over. So it was 71005. That's the one there. Which if we go information, 71005, that's the one that we've just bought. The charge for buying them like that is it now costs more money to send them over. So the fee is £140. I think it was £50 per animal beforehand. But you can go get your tractor and trailer like I have over there. You can bring it to here and load them up. So I've just moved us on 1 month just to see any differences that we have here. So Nifty is too young to produce and 11 months old. But if we move down to, that's 12 months, here we go. We now have 410001 is expecting one baby, 10 months reproduction, 14 months old, and it is expected on the 13th of the 7th in 2026. So that is brilliant that we finally have our first expected calf. This can go anywhere from 0 to 3, so 1 is unfortunate. I would imagine it could have been one of these, could have been Ross may have got her for 1. But yes, and then also the next one down, 1 baby, expected 23rd of the 7th, 26th. So there's only, out of those 5, there's 2 calves there. Obviously the bull you won't get anything, but it's impregnated 2 animals. If we go down to the Holstein, we have 1 expected on the 30th of the 7th, 2026. And small Coco, we now get a load more information. So health 100%, reproduction 10%, target weight 698.97 kilograms, which at the moment the current weight is 660.37. So we need to get her up her weight to to be the perfect weight, as it were. Lactating, no, but she's also expecting a baby, well, a little calf. So that is very, very positive news. And we will now just go over to our sheep, because it is the exact same process for them all. We'll go, although they look like they may be may have had an accident. If we go over to here and information, so that one is too young, expecting 5 babies. Right, that would be fairly substantial, because I know triplets are a struggle for a yow, let alone having 5. And then these are all rams, so you won't get any here. But obviously they've impregnatable animals, none. But yeah, so that is just a very brief, or hopefully a very brief, insight into the realistic animal mod. I should say the only other downside I see to this is chickens, which I do have a chicken barn up there, but I haven't set it up just yet. Is that chicken barn can hold 700. Let's just have a quick look, just so we can remind ourselves. That can hold 360. So you now have to imagine that in this chicken barn there will be 360 individual chickens that you now need to work through to get the appropriate breeding. So for me, I think if I was to be operating with chickens, I would look at just buying all the best ones in and then leaving it as is. That, I think, seems like the most effective way of doing it. Whilst with your sheep and your cows, if you're only doing 50 each, that sounds a bit more plausible and a lot easier to do. So on that note, I hope you have enjoyed this little video. I'm hoping it hasn't gone too long. I hope you found it informative, and if it is something that you would like more of, then do let me know and I'll be more than happy to do it. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.